Hi, good morning everyone. In the series of our Linux commands, we will talk about today some text processing commands which are also part of Bash. Uh, Starting with this, let me give you an overview. So these are the files that I have that have been lying here. One of the files that I have added is data.csv. So if I use cat data.csv, so these are comma separated values, and I will show you how to use them with certain commands. So we'll start with the command grep. Grep is basically to find a pattern or look for pattern within files. So if I say man grep, which is manual, you will see that this is what the grep command, and these are the various switches associated with it. So I will show you some of the switches, but rest of them you can try at your end. So there are a lot of them. So we'll talk about which is I, which is to ignore the cases, and V is to invert the match, and then we have R, which is for recursive. So it is going to search between files and directories, and then you can find files with matches, files without match. So if you are looking for a certain color or want to count something that matches the input, you can always use this, and it'll show it to you. So I'll press Q to quit, and I press clear, and here I will say cat smile. So this file contains certain characters in it. So let's search for is. So I will say grep, and I will say is, and the name of the file is smile. So it is showing that I have got 3 lines which has got the match that matches with is. Now Linux is very particular about cases. You have to be very sure that the right case is there, so that it is uppercase or lowercase. So for example, in the 4th line I have written over there is Vim editor. So Vim is particular. If I look here and I say grep Vim and I write it in lowercase, it will not find it because that does not exist. But if I write it in uppercase, it will find it because it exists. As I said, it is case sensitive. But I want to ignore case, so I will use the switch, which is -i. So -i job is to ignore the case, and now you see that Vim is now available and is displayed. But we also want to find the lines that do not match Vim. So instead of this, I can use the command which is known as V. So it is displaying all the line but not displaying within the Vim. Vim here is uppercase, so don't think that it is just displaying because of Vim. But if I use this with uppercase Vim and I say -v, then it will not show. Now it is missing. But in the previous line, if you would have used I also as a switch to ignore case, then it would have shown. So be very particular about the switches. And again, if I go here and I say that I'm looking for is, and I want to see -c. So -c is for count, and it will show that is contained in 3 lines. Or if you want to use with V, the same switch that we used last time, and we say C, it will only say that it is in 1 line. Sorry, 4 lines that do not match Vim. Out of 5 lines, so 4 lines are visible. But if you would have used the other switch, which is not V, and then used it, then it would have shown. It makes sense. So I hope this makes sense to you. And then we also have recursive. So for example, if I say ls-l /var/* you will see that's sorry, I needed a space. You will see that has got a directory, huge directory. But I want to search for a particular character. For example, cron. Let me search for cron, or let me search for system. So I will say here grep, and I is for ignore cases, I don't want to count them, and I'm looking for the word system, and I'm looking in this directory /var. So it says /var is a directory, and that is why it is not showing. But if you want to search recursively, then you have to use the switch R. Now see, so many systems are there. So be very careful when you are using the switches. So switches basically help you to identify, to count the characters, or if you are looking for a specific thing in a file or in the directory or in a pattern, you can do it. To cancel anytime, press Ctrl C, or you can press Q to exit. Let me clear the screen. So I hope this makes sense how to use grep. One of the next common command that we use is awk, AWK. So man AWK, that is to scan the patterns in the language. For example, you want to look for some values in the CSV file. You're looking for some data that you want to extract, that is specific field, not the entire line. So let's do about it, and let's use some switches from here, which is uppercase F, which is a field separator. B is for variable, B is for character, C is for copyright, D is for file, E is for program exit, and I'm going to use some of them over here to show it to you. So I'll quit. Now I have shown you cat data.csv. I just want to extract field number 2, which is amount. So let's do it. Awk, that's the command. -F is the field separator, and the field separator is comma. So whatever your separator is, you can use it. And then you are going to put certain values within this single quotes and the name of the file, which is data.csv. So I'm going to say print, which is a reserve word, and I will say $2, enter, and it printed the second column. So it checked the separator, which is comma, and after that whatever came before comma, next comma, it printed it. Similarly, if you want to print, for example, $2 to 4, sorry, $2 to $4, or I don't think you can do this way. I think $2, comma, $4. Yeah, it has printed the 2 of the values. But I think there is a way you can use hyphen, but I'm not very sure at the moment. It's slightly, I'm missing on my mind at the moment, but yes, you can print it like this if you're looking for something exclusive over here. Then you also have a command where you want to assign a value and print that value to it. So for example, I want the value, which is the amount, or the description, or the value, the currency, that is third column, which is $, GBP, INR, dollar, whatever you are using. So I use the command and I say awk -F, the separator is comma, we'll use that, and then I'm going to put the double quote, the single quote, single quote, which is here, curly braces, single quote close, and it will be data.csv. So now I will say here, read this. I define a variable which is equal to amount currency, and I press it like this, and I close it with a space, and then I write here and I say that print var, which is this value, amount currency, and the value that you are going to print from here is $3, which is the third field over here. So it is here, ID, amount, currency, and the file that I'm going to use is data.csv, and I press enter. where is equal to, oh sorry, I did not use the right switch, which is -v, which is for variable. So I'm defining a variable, and now you see that it is printing the right thing. So you have to use, so I'm saying I'm going to define a variable which is var, and the switch is -v, and with this I'm going to print the amount of the currency, and I'm going to print the variable. The variable is amount currency, and it is saying it's dollar, GBP, INR, this. We can also check what we paid and what is the ID. So you can also use here comma $1, $2. So you have more information over here. That currency, ID, amount. Over here, that ID is 1, 2, 3, 4, and the amount paid is XYZ value. So you can do more of this over the values. And for example, if you want to have total of the amount paid, you can use the command. Let's clear the screen. The command is awk. We'll use -f, which is the separator. And then I'm going to say that and end, and I'm going to print the output. This is extra, so I'll show you what I'm doing, and the name of the file is data.csv. So -f, and I'm going to say sum. So before I do this command, I think I'm forgetting the data file. I need to know how the data is there. Okay, let's do it now. awk and -f, which is the separator value, and I'm going to put the curly braces, end, curly braces, single quote, and data.csv, and I'm going to say that sum anything and everything that is equal to $2, which is the second column, ID and amount. So I'm going to sum second value and print the output sum, and I say print sum 1229. So it has summed up 102, 104, 1003, 10, 10, and printed the output over here. So that is another example if you want to sum it up. So you can use these values. So awk command can be used basically for processing and scanning of certain commands or languages into the system. The next important command that we have in the file is cut. So man cut. So cut basically removes section from each of the files, but it does not physically commits it, but displays as a view. So for example, we again quit. I want to remove amount 102 from there. So I'm going to say cut, and I'm going to say remove value 2, which is -f2, and name of the file is data.csv. Just a second. I did not put the data separator, sorry. Let me clear the screen and let me first read the data, and now I'm going to do this. So here it is. So the switch is -d. I forgot to put the switch, which is -d, and the separator is the comma, and then I'm saying filter value or variable to and print, and now it is printed. So you have to identify, and this is not physically there, it is just displayed. If I say that I want to print F2 to 3, it will print 2. I don't want them to be displayed on the screen. I say copy this to some data. So the greater than sign basically outputs the data in the name of the file, and you don't see that. If I say cat some data, you will see the output over here. So this is how you do it. The objective of this is to just filter the data and display it to you on the screen. Then you can try more switches on this. Then we have sort command. So the job of the sort command is to filter your data. So if I say man sort, sort basically sorts in ascending or descending order, ignore cases, human readable format, verbose, etc., or numeric format. So let's try this out. Okay, you can read some switches over here. So we'll use cat data.csv. So this is what it is. If I say sort data.csv, it will sort in sequence and it will put ID at the bottom because we did not define that first row is the header. If I say sorted in reverse order, that is how the file will come. So ID will come, but then 4321 will probably go down. If I say here that sorted, but sort numbers correctly, now again it is over here and you can display it. So it has sorted 4321, but it in reverse order. If I just remove R from here, now you see that it is sorted in the sequence. So if it is a number, it will sort in the number format. So if any of the line has got 10 over somewhere, so for example, if I say vim, let's use sudo vim, not some data, it is data.csv, and I press I for insert, and I'm going to make this line as 10, and I'll press escape :WQ, it's the editor, and if I say cat, this is how the line looks. So let's clear the screen, let's run the cat command again, and let's filter it now with -n command. Now you see 10 has gone at the bottom. So this filters based on the numbering sequence of the quantity. Then you can also, like we see that number 4 is unique. So if there is a repeat or a common column or common rows, we can filter them and we can remove any of them which are unique. So just use -u switch. It is just going to filter the duplicate lines, and we only see the duplicate one line, not multiple lines over there. So this is how the sort command works, and if you want, you can filter on delimiter, etc. over there. Now next important command for text is head and tail. So man tail, it will display the last 10 lines of every file in the input, and you can use various switches with it, basically used to check the logs and transactions that are happening into the system. So for example, I want to see what is happening last in the file. So here it is, ls-l/var/log, and you will see there are a lot of files like auth-log. Let's check the last 10 lines of this file. So tail /var/log/auth-log, last 10 lines are displayed. If I want more lines to be displayed, I can use here -n, and I will say 20, sorry, space, and you see the last 20 lines are displayed. But if you want to see, because log file usually grows, so we want to see what's coming in the log every time. So we want to keep on checking. We don't want that the log should stop. So instead of this, we use a switch -f, which is basically known as follow log file. Now you will see that this has stopped over here, and some data will keep adding after some time. So if some activity happens, the log will be updated over here. So this is just to show it to you that this value will be added in the subsequent time. So for example, if you are running some application and you want to see what kind of logs it is generating, so you can use this command and it will show you the end of the file where the data will keep on adding. In my case, it may not be much, but it will take some time for the input to come and display it to you. So I'll just press Ctrl C to exit and come out of it. And so similar to log file, we have header file. Oh, sorry, similar to tail file, we have head file, which is man head, which shows the top 10 lines of 5 lines of the command. So some of the use cases with tail is you want to monitor log, you want to check the latest entries, you want to debug application. But with head, you want to see that what is the header of the file. You don't want to read the entire file. You just want to stop and see what is the first line, header, etc. So then you can read the top lines. So pressing Q, you can simply say here man, sorry, not man, head, and it is data.csv. Now this is the file that has come, but let's use it for the same log file, and instead of tail we will use head, and we see that the top 10 lines are displayed. Similarly, if you want to display number of lines, so you want to display only 5 lines, you can use the switch -n5 and it will only display 5 lines of the system. But if you want to display multiple log files, so we'll clear the screen and I do ls-l/var/log. There are multiple log files. I want to read a lot of them. So I will see here, I will write header. This applies to tail command as well. And again /var/log/appord which has got 0 data. Then we have got /var/log/alter alternative.log, and I'll use one more /var/log/kern.log, which is here, and I'll press enter, and now you see the log data, and this is coming with the name of the file. And if we want that, we don't want to view which file it is from, we want to suppress the header, that is it coming from auth log, is it coming from apport log, is it coming from kern log, you can just use the Q switch as well, -Q, which is for quiet, and you will see same thing is displayed but no header is displayed. So I hope this gives you a brief overview of how we process the text in Linux, and please try more switches, and this will help you in learning more about the Linux text processing. Thanks for watching, and any questions, feel free to reach me.